Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Xeno, the personification of a cry for help, and today we are back with Dawn Chorus. Now, I need this. This is going to be a nice, wholesome palate cleanser from all the trauma and shit that I just went through reading The Curious Case of Route 19. Now, mind you, that game is actually really amazing. You guys should go read that on itchio right now. But god damn it, is it graphic. But anyway, let's continue on, shall we? So the last thing we left off on, we played snooker with Bjorn, we went skinny dipping at the pool, we did possibly literally anything but find our damn key. I don't know about you, but for me, if I lost my room key, I would have done everything in my power to make sure I had that in my possession again. I could not afford to do anything else. I would just be locked the fuck in, scrambling, going back to where I last came from, checking my surroundings. But no, we're here now. We just had dinner with all the actual cast, and I get to choose who I'm gonna go with. I still don't know which one of these will indicate a route. I'm not too sure. This is gonna be a really long let's play, isn't it? Considering the amount of, things I have to do with the other people. So here's the thing I like to do with visual novels like these. If I go to a different route, I want to go back and play certain parts of the beginning so I could get more development of that character I'm gonna go on that route with. Makes sense to y'all? Basically get as much time with the character as I can before I delve into that route. So as of right now, I'm going to be tagging along with Rune and Devin because I'm gonna start with Rune first. And then maybe I'll start with Devin afterwards. But anyway, let's continue on. Yawn. Oh, that was good. Wow, swimming really made me hungry. I probably could have eaten anything and I still would have loved it. It was really good. I don't feel like doing anything now. I caught the big lazy. Rune leans back on the couch with his arms behind his head, crossing his legs. Devin is sitting next to him, looking out the window with his arms crossed on his chest. After dinner, we split from the rest and came to the common room to just chill together. Later went with Jorgen to the lobby to play some table paw ball, and Mito disappeared somewhere with Bjorn just after we finished. I decided to tag along with those two instead. After all, I wanted to make some new friends here, and surprisingly, I feel relaxed with Rune and Devin. Even though initially they both seemed unapproachable, now that I've got to know them, I feel comfortable in their company. There's something calming about them. How'd you like dinner, Arvo? Okay, I really liked it. Okay. They did a good job with it. I really liked it. Just like lunch. Yeah, they really know what they're doing. Vegetables were perfectly roasted, spicy and still with a hint of sweetness. The sauce was a great match for the rest of the dish too. Its slight acidity was a nice contrast with the savory veggie balls. Oh, and those pancakes? Sorry about the blueberries, by the way. I hope you both had some too. Not really. Rune looks at me with hope in his eyes. Maybe a few? Devin snorted loudly. By the way, I'm surprised that you decided to tag along with us. What do you mean? Most wouldn't want to hang out with a teacher. They're just sticking around. Devin gives him a disapproving look. No wonder, that was pretty blunt. To be honest, I didn't give it much thought before. If Devin feels comfortable with us, then why should I feel weird about it? How did you two become friends? When I moved to Norway, I didn't know anyone here. Not even one person. With just one bag of personal belongings, I rented a small flat in the city center and started to look for a job in education. I thought that moving here from outside Europe would be harder. They allowed you to stay just like that? I had it easy with the relocation since my mother was Norwegian. Here, citizenship is determined by the nationality of the parents, so I was born with a dual citizenship. I do have family here, but on one of the islands pretty far north. I was lucky enough to find an open position for a coach at a university, but beyond some casual chats with other teachers there, I found it really hard to get to know anyone. I quickly found out that while Norwegians are really nice, they tend to keep to themselves much more than Americans do. Rune was the first person I talked with beyond exchanging pleasantries. He was in a group I was teaching at first, and he heard that I recently moved to Norway, so he came to me after classes and asked how I was liking it here. When he learned that I barely talked with anyone, he offered to take me on a tour around the city, and I agreed. That was really nice of him. I probably wouldn't have the guts to do something like that myself. It turns out that he's a cool guy, knowledgeable too, so we started to hang out more often. Good to hear you found someone to help you acclimate here, Devin. I know it helps a lot. Meeting new people as a student is relatively easy. We're basically forced to spend a huge part of our time together and have to form bonds to get through our studies. And yet, I still have problems with that after moving here from Finland, which isn't even that different from Norway. I can imagine that for a foreigner from the US, it must be much harder. How did it go for you? You moved from another country too. Did you have any friends here already? No, I wanted to get out of my hometown, out of my country, and start anew. In the end, it turned out that Miko got admitted into the same university. He's my middle school friend. We haven't talked much since then, though. After moving here, I was mostly busy studying. I've made some friends along the way, though. Lake, for example. We live in the same dormitory. I met him in the kitchen once, and it turned out that we have a lot in common. In any case, I'm doing good. Don't worry. That's good. You know, I really admire you both. It takes a lot of courage to leave everything behind and move abroad completely alone. In my case, there wasn't much to leave behind. My life has gotten much better since I moved here. I still have to settle down, maybe go and meet my neighbors, maybe find some clubs I can join or something like that. You two can't imagine how hard it is to make friends near into your 30s. You know, I'm really happy you're here with me. What's this? Are you getting sentimental? I had to wait more than a month to have seen you smile. You must be in a really good mood. Maybe I am. We spent some more time talking, joking and laughing, until finally both Devin and Rune get up and leave to their respective rooms. It's getting late and the sun is already approaching the horizon, filling the room with a golden glow. I wish they hadn't left already. I really enjoy their company too. I sit a while longer on the chair facing the window, lost in thoughts. But what about your room key? Rune's room! Let's go ahead and check out Rune. Oh, Arvo! Did I space out again? I turn around and I see Rune approaching me. What are you up to? Just walking around looking to see if anything is going on. Same as me then. I stayed for a bit in my room, but got bored quickly. I didn't come to a camp to sit in my room by myself. That I could do any time. Even if the rooms here are really nice. Yeah. Although I wish I could enjoy mine. Yeah, where's your fucking key? Have you even tried to look for it? Oh, yeah. You don't really have yours for now. You can visit me sometime if you want. I'd much rather sit with you than alone. That's really nice of you, Rune. Well, if there's nothing better to do, we could go there now if you want. Beats standing here anyway, doesn't it? I didn't have any other plans, so... lead the way. Rune turns around and starts walking towards the residential part of the guest house. I follow him quietly, looking at his short but fluffy tail swaying beside him in the rhythm of his steps. It's almost hypnotizing. We're going to Rune's room! Here we are! I take out my phone and save the room number to a quick note. Okay, come in. Rune opens the door, which he apparently left unlocked, and lets me into the room. It's roughly the same size as mine, maybe a tad bigger. A guitar is lying on his bed. I assume that's Rune's private one. Some books are laying on his desk too. I never would guess that he's the type to bring books here at camp. Wait, is that It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover? Wait, is that A Chord of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas? Wait, is that motherfucking Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros? Jesus Christ, he likes those books, doesn't he? Other than that, all of Rune's private belongings must be already hidden in the wardrobe and drawers. What were you reading? Hmm? Oh, you mean those? Both are written by Wait, what? Haruki Murakami? Oh, you mean those? Both are written by Haruki Murakami. He's a Japanese fiction writer. I really love his style. It's very elegant and deliberate. I don't know how he does this, but in his novels, words flow like a calm, winding stream. There's something compelling about them. They have such an otherworldly atmosphere. Before reading his books, I never thought about becoming a writer. They inspired me a lot. I wonder if I could apply that style to some other medium, let's say a role-playing game or a visual novel. Wait, you write? Oh, no, not yet. But I would love to try someday. Just, you know how it is. It's always hard to find the time for another hobby. For me, it's hard to find a time for even just one hobby. But I won't say that out loud. When I moved to Norway and suddenly found myself in a big city, I promised myself to go out to take some photos every day. But I quickly had to go back on that promise. Too many responsibilities and late classes. If I manage to go out for a photo walk once every 3 days, I'm happy. I would never guess you're the type of person who plays visual novels either. Rune turns his head sideways. For a moment, I thought I saw him blush. But Rune? Blushing? Come on. Sometimes. I haven't played many though. I just think the medium itself is interesting. For example, I like the idea of providing your own soundtrack to the scenes. That's not really something you can do with books. Visual novel, when done right, can be much more immersive too. I've tried some, but none really stuck with me. Besides When You Were Mine by Xeno the Cowboy and Zid the Red Panda on itchio right now for the February game. I'm sorry, I had to plug myself in. Please read my visual novel. They were mostly horrors though, and that's not my favorite genre, for sure. And you play the guitar too? I had no idea. Well, there's not much to speak of, sadly. I can play a bunch of chords and know a few songs, that's pretty much it. I nod. I don't know if he's just being humble though. Prior to now, I thought he just plays on a team and practices in his free time, but that's pretty much it. Now it turns out he reads Japanese novels, thinks of writing himself, and plays music. I know so little about him. Arvo, you won't laugh at me, right? He speaks quieter and softer than before. It's weird seeing him so meek all of a sudden. That's a huge contrast to his usual confident self. What? Of course not, why would I? Thank you. You see, it's a bit embarrassing. Oh, wait, why are you still standing? Sit wherever you like. Thanks? I sit down on Rune's bed, as that's the closest piece of furniture. Rune in turn leans on the desk. From this perspective, he's even more imposing. So frankly, my ambition is not to play, but to compose. I have a few songs written, but I'm not really happy with any of them yet. I don't know much about writing music, but somehow this seems even more ambitious than just playing songs. Is he really a deer or a goddamn cyborg? Aren't these a bit too many hobbies? I mean, how do you even find the time for all of that? You have your team on top of your studies, you work on your own music, and you still think of working on a visual novel? Isn't it a bit crazy? It gets a bit overwhelming sometimes, yes, but there's a key to find the time. It's discipline, and Adderall. I plan my time ahead and keep a schedule, and I don't allow myself to slack off, especially when I'm taking my Adderall. That's impressive and all, but I hope you don't push yourself too hard. I don't want to see you collapse from exhaustion. Don't worry, I'm a sturdy deer. This isn't that much really, and I enjoy what I'm doing. If I wasn't, I probably wouldn't find the motivation. I'm not entirely convinced, but there isn't much more I can do for him now, is there? Okay, let's say I believe you. Could you play one of your songs for me? If you really want to hear one, but I can assure you that they're nothing special. Maybe even a bit embarrassing. Everybody has to start somewhere. I don't expect you to play me a multi-part masterpiece here. Okay. I'm not used to play for others though, so I'll for sure mess something up. He picks up the guitar and hops onto the desk, resting it on his leg, and strums the strings gently with his thumb, playing a mellow chord. I currently have it tuned to an alternate tuning I came up with. I have only one song written in that tuning, but I like the sound, so I'll probably work on more. But you probably don't know what the alternate tunings are, yeah? Hell, you probably don't even know what the standard tuning is. Not really. Okay, it's not really important. Guitar has a pretty weird tuning, because the strings are tuned 5 semitones apart, except for the 5th string. That's 4 semitones higher than the 4th one. A semitone is the distance in pitch between 2 adjacent keys on a piano. I think that's the easiest way to put it. That tuning is called standard tuning, and it's what pretty much every guitarist uses. Alternate tuning is anything other than that, and they're usually constructed in such a way that all open strings together form a specific chord. You can get some more interesting, unusual sounds from that, and they're often easier to play in once you get a good grasp on them. I always like it when others gush about their interests. It's really sweet in a way. I can feel their excitement about stuff I have no knowledge of. It always makes me want to explore the topic deeper and get into it too. I guess that passion can be contagious. I tried writing some songs in them, with varying degrees of success. I've got all chords laid down for that one, but I'm still working on the melodies. Rune strums the strings again, this time pressing some of the strings to the fretboard with his left paw. The chord sounds sweeter and more joyful than the previous one. I move closer to him, seated on the edge of the bed, and observe him play. He plays rather quietly and timidly at first, but after the first few chords, I can hear that he regains his usual confidence. Suddenly, I hear, oh no! Suddenly, I hear a loud twang and something sharp hits my face. Ow! I press my paw against my cheek, feeling the stinging sensation there. Fine! Arvo, are you alright? Rune drops the guitar in panic, leaning and looking at me with worry. Looking at the instrument, I can see that one of the strings snapped and is now dangling limply. I think so, it just stings a little. Wait, show me. He grabs my paw and gently pulls it away from my face, looking for a wound. He presses his thumb to my cheek and brushes through the fur gently, observing me closely. Damn, you've got a pretty awful cut. Arvo, I'm so sorry. Wait here just a moment, I'll be right back. Rune gives me a quick head pat and runs out of the room. I'm alone in his room. I'm alone in Rune's room. I wonder how often this happens. I had no idea playing the guitar can be this dangerous. I mean, it can be if you haven't done it for a while and you need to redo your strings or get new strings. It frightened me a bit, but now that I know what happened, it doesn't even hurt much. For a moment, I think about picking up the guitar to take a better look at it, but I stopped myself when I realized that another string might snap too. I wonder, where did Rune go? He looked pretty worried. I hope he didn't panic because of a small scratch. I stand up to look at the mirror that's in the entrance to the room and look at my reflection. There's a small stream of blood trickling down my cheek. Oh! I sit back on the bed heavily and raise my paw to the cut, feeling the wetness under my paw pads. The sight of blood always makes me a bit queasy. Okay, I'm back. Rune hurries into the room holding something in his paw. He sits down on the floor in front of me and opens the small bottle he is holding. It's hydrogen peroxide. The cut doesn't look that bad, but there was some blood and strings aren't exactly the cleanest thing ever. Aren't you overreacting a little bit? Definitely not. You don't want to get an infection. Now lean back and don't move. Not wanting to argue, I do as he says, raising my head and looking at the ceiling. He brushes the fur on my cheek with his thumb again to have better access to the wound. His touch is gentle, making me shiver lightly. He cleans the wound with hydrogen peroxide and a tissue skillfully. Being an athlete, he probably had his share of cuts and bruises himself, so that comes as no surprise. It stings a bit and I hiss when hydrogen peroxide comes in contact with the wound, but keep still. From up close, his scent is much stronger. He smells really nice. The cologne he is wearing mixes with his natural scent, woody and inviting, with a hint of jasmine and some blueberries. If someone this morning would tell me that I end up in his room, talking with him casually, I'd laugh at them. And yet, here I am, talking about our hobbies, listening to him play his songs, and now with him kneeling in front of me. Okay, all done. You should wash it with soap later too. You're really lucky that the strain missed your eye. You can't imagine how terribly sorry I am, Arvo. It's okay, it's not your fault. By the way, how often does this happen? I never thought that playing the guitar might be such a dangerous activity. Almost never, unless the guitarist attempts to do some wild soloing, then the highest string can sometimes break. It's my fault for playing in a weird tuning. I must have tuned the strings too high and couldn't withstand the tensions. I think I'll go back to playing in a standard tuning for a while now. You have no idea how much this frightened me. At least I heard you play. The song sounded quite nice. You're only saying that to make me feel better. But thank you anyway. Too bad you won't be able to play again now on this trip. Oh, I have a spare set of strings, don't worry. I always have one with me in the guitar bag. Strings wear out very quickly, so I change them every month or so, whenever they get dull or rusty. Where did you get the hydrogen peroxide from? I borrowed it from Devin. I will drop by his room later to return it. I told him I just needed it for a moment. Return the ball yourself or tell Rune to do it now. Wait, what? Should I tell him to do it now? But I'm going to be stuck in his room. Let's see. I nod, steady up from the bed. We can go there now. Better not keep him waiting. I'll go check out if anything is happening anywhere else, and we can catch each other later. Good idea. Again, sorry that it ended up like this. Don't sweat it, it's fine. We leave the room together, and this time Rune doesn't lock the door either. Well, I guess there would be no point in that. There are only other students and faculty members here. I wish I thought about that before locking my door. After this, I'll go to the common space to check if there's anything happening there. If you'd like to join me there, feel free to. I don't know what I'll do yet, so if we don't meet there, have fun. I will for sure. There's one secret to enjoying life that you should remember wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Try to remember always just to have a good time. Yeah, but I need my damn room key. It sounds simple, but once you remember that, life gets easier. Take care. Yeah, you too, Rune. Wait, what? The locker room with Bjorn? Thomas Miko? Hold the fuck up. Oh, wait. Okay, I hung out with Bjorn. Should I give Miko a chance? I kinda don't want to. No shit to Miko, he seems nice and everything, but But Bjorn, he's right there, and he's so fucking hot. You guys have no idea. I am a man of simple taste. Wait, are we gonna swim again? But we don't have our swimsuit. Are we gonna stand up again? Looks like there's no one here. I decided to check out the locker room to see if anyone was in the swimming pool or the sauna, but it doesn't look like it. Where is everyone? The lockers are all open, but maybe I shouldn't assume that it means they're all empty. I take off my shoes and walk further into the locker room. Inside one of the open lockers is a familiar hoodie, covering some other belongings. Bingo! Now where might the bearer of these belong to be? If he's in a sauna, then maybe I could join for a quick session. Whoa! Okay. God damn! Anyway, let's continue on, shall we? I'm taking my little footsies. I peeked into the corridor just in time to see Bjorn leaving the sauna. Oh, Arvo. I'd asked if you were going to the sauna, but seeing you clothed, I'm guessing not. I wanted to check if there's anyone inside, but I don't think anymore? Yeah, there was only me, and I'm done. 2 50-minute sessions are enough for me. I need a cold shower now. A bucket of cold water would be the nicest, but I haven't seen those here. Do you mind if I tag along with you? I mean, after the shower. Oh, you're not here for the sauna? Not really. I'm just looking for some company. It's been oddly silent everywhere since dinner. I suppose most of the students are in their rooms. I probably would be as well if I could get into mine. Yeah, because you need to find your damn room key, which you haven't been doing. The hell? Sure, but you'll have to wait for me for a while. We walked back into the locker room. Me fully dressed but shoeless. Bjorn wearing only a towel around his waist, all drenched in sweat and panting. You don't have to wait for me here. I might take a while to cool down. Here's fine. I like locker rooms. Well, your call. The bear leaves through the showers and I sat down on the bench, taking out my phone to check the notifications. I sent a message to Miko a while ago, but he hasn't replied yet. He's probably back in his room, working on something or taking a nap. I write a quick text to Lake, asking if anything's happening anywhere, and open the web browser. Few minutes pass and Bjorn is still in the shower. I wonder how thick his pelt is. Can't be very thick if he's wearing hoodies indoors. Probably not thicker than mine. Unless he just prefers very warm temperatures. Now that I think of it, I don't think I've seen a bear up close before. We've had a few in our town, but I never had any in my class. He's... I tried not to stare much when he was leaving the sauna, but he looked handsome from what I've seen. I've always liked that type of build. Big, burly, great for snuggling into. Same. And his snout was so thick that I don't think I could close my fingers over it. That's a thought I like. Spending time with him was fun, but I still barely know him. If I had my room back, maybe I'd talk him into visiting me. Talking in a more private environment always feels more personal. Suddenly, my phone lights up. A notification appeared on the screen. Don't know, I'm with Jordan in our room. We might go out in like 15 minutes. 15 minutes isn't that much. Maybe we could still do something together before the stargazing. It would be nice to include Bjorn too. I don't know if he has any plans for the evening yet. He's done. Bjorn leaves the shower with a towel wrapped around his waist, water dripping from his body. Huh, so you did wait. There's a sweet note in his voice, appreciative and grateful. I can tell he thought I'd leave. I said I would. He starts to dry himself with a towel, and I turn the other way to give him some more privacy. You had any plans for after the sauna? Not really. I thought I'd go rest in my room for a while. I don't mind company though. Or, if you'd like to stick around, we could go pay Travis a visit. He has some multiplayer games with him. Both sound good, but it would be nice to spend some time alone with him. Okay, I'm ready. I nod and stand up, leaving the locker room with him. Walking out into the corridor, we walk straight into a familiar deer. Rune? Shh. 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 How do I say that as a question? Never mind. Listen. We stand quietly, listening in. Do I hear a piano? Definitely, and it sounds like an acoustic one. I had no idea there was one here. That's neat. Oh yeah, there is one in the common room. I wonder who's playing it. Only one way to find out. Are you two coming with me? Sure, live music is definitely a treat. Arvo? I like the idea. Even if I looked forward to spending time with just Bjorn instead, I'm curious too. And the music sounds nice. And I might have an idea who's sitting behind the piano. Is it Miko? It is! Indeed, it's Miko who's sitting behind the piano. He notices us entering the room and stops playing, turning in our direction. Why did you stop playing? Hey. Oh, hello there. I had no idea you could play piano too, Miko. He was quite good at it, even. I remember staying with him after classes and listening to him play on the school piano, back when we were in middle school. I learned it as a kid, and I'm glad. Knowing your way around the keyboard helps a lot with composing, no matter the genre. We heard someone playing the piano in here and came to listen. Hope we don't mind audience. I don't, although don't expect too much from me. I haven't played the real acoustic thing in a long time. He touches the keyboard with such affection that for a moment I can't help but feel jealous. Guys, is my theory real? Is my theory real? Did Arvo have a crush on Miko, and Miko kindly rejected him, and that's what's caused a 3-year gap in their friendship? Guys, is that what happened? Is that what really happened? Did I literally clock it early on? Anyway, so would you like me to play something? Sure. Maybe this one. Miko turns towards the piano and lifts both his delicate paws, wiggling his fingers for a moment before putting them down on the keyboard. Everyone goes silent in an instant, leaving only the crackling from the fireplace resounding in the room. Miko begins playing the piece, soft piano notes reverberating around the room. He strokes the keys gently, but with confidence. The three of us sit in silence, not wanting to distract him, but also enchanted by the music. I don't think he would notice anything anyway, completely engrossed in playing. There's a genuine smile on his muzzle, and he closes his eyes from time to time, his tail swaying from side to side with the rhythm of the piece. It's like he's playing with his whole body, not just his paws. The music is delicate and calm, like a meadow brushed by a gentle autumn breeze. It makes me feel like I'm floating above the ground, or being carried away by a gentle stream. It's touching something deep within me that I haven't felt for a long time. His paws move elegantly in wide swipes across the keys. It takes some effort and he has to slow down in some parts, but from the look on his snout, it's clear that he's having a lot of fun. He looks really happy when he plays. Yeah, I remember that from the times we were in middle school together. He always looked genuinely happy when he was playing an instrument. Right now, in his smile, I can see the boy he was back then, getting lost in music and forgetting about the world around him. Suddenly, I hear steps behind me. Turn around and see Torolf entering the room, holding a banana in his paw. He raises his other paw to greet us, but doesn't say anything. Instead, he walks up to the free armchair and sits down quietly, listening to Miko playing. His steps feel deliberate and balanced. I hadn't noticed it before, but he walks in a really elegant way. Meanwhile, Miko finishes playing the piece. That was really nice, Miko. Miko turns towards him, surprised. Hi, did we meet before? I believe not. Late mentioned you. I know you're Arvo's friend. I'm Torolf. It's a pleasure to meet you. A pleasure for me as well. That was something, Miko, really. Oh, thanks. I can't help but envy him. I myself struggled with playing anything on piano, and there wasn't any fun in it for me. When I was listening to him play, I always felt inadequate. He started a bit earlier than me, and that was enough to discourage me. Miko used to tell me that pushing through the first phase of playing anything is a huge effort, but for me it seemed like I would never get out of that phase. The truth is I never applied myself, while Miko kept practicing and practicing. Now he's better than I will ever be. No, that really was great. Where did you learn to play like that? Well, we had music lessons in school, like everyone in Finland. We were playing mostly stringed and wind instruments, but we had the basics of piano too. I spent a lot of time playing piano by myself after classes. Oh, does that mean you can play too, Arvo? Not really. I had music lessons as well, but I was never good at it. Maybe you remember something from them, though. Maybe a few melodies, that's all. Would you like to play too? Oh, I don't know. I haven't played in a long time, and I was never good to begin with. Oh, come on. I'm sure you're better than you think. We won't make fun of you, don't worry. He has worry written all over his face. I don't know if it's a good idea, Rune. You know what? Get your confidence back. Well, I can try. I have no idea what I'm doing. Why is it always so hard for me to refuse when others ask me politely? The excited look on Rune's face was too much for me. I just couldn't let him down. Even though in the end I inevitably will. Mito stands up from the piano and moves onto the closest armchair. I reluctantly walk over and sit down where he sat a second ago, in front of the instruments. Resting my paws on the keyboard, I notice they're shaking. What should I even play? I try to think of any track I was ever learning. There is one that was fairly easy to play, and I think I remember it. I played a scale in which I think the track was composed, just to make sure that I remember it correctly. I don't know why among all the ones I've tried to learn, this one stuck with me. I haven't listened to it in a long while. Okay, I don't really know what I'm waiting for. Now without some hesitation, I play the first note of the track, and then the rest of the chord. The weight of the keys feels surprisingly familiar, and the chord sounds nice and sweet. I forgot how nice it feels to play. I was never happy with my playing, but only now I remember I enjoyed it. I still feel everyone's eyes on my back though. Okay, focus. I just need to go through the piece and not make any obvious mistakes. Desynchronizing left and right paw is just as hard as I remember. People often don't realize that and think that playing slow piano pieces is easy, but that's definitely not true. Okay, that's all I remember. I turn around to face the rest, and I see them all looking straight at me. See, that wasn't bad. Yeah, sure. Arvo? Hey, I really mean it. Cheer up, you look like you're gonna cry. That was cool, Arvo. Really gave me chills. I really love Didcraft music. I'm glad you played that one. Bjorn? Mito gives him a disappointed look and shakes his head. Okay, that's quite funny. What's wrong? That's not Didcraft music, that's a masterpiece from the 19th century. Oh. I'm sure that was Norway from the soundtrack. Would fit the occasion. I haven't played the game in quite a while now, though. I always loved the music from it. It evokes so many memories now. I'm glad to see the time I spent teaching you did not go to waste, though, Arvo. Oh, right. That's why this piece stuck with me. It was the one Mito himself taught me. Frankly, I surprised even myself. Although that wasn't the best performance of this piece, to put it lightly. And it's not like I remembered much of it anyway. For someone who didn't play for a long time, that's really impressive, Arvo. You're really kind, all of you. I stand up from the piano and walk back to the sofa. My legs feel all wobbly under me, but I try to look calm and composed. I can't help but let out a big sigh of relief when I sit back down, leaning forward and hiding my snout in my open paws. Rune gets up and walks up to me, patting me on the back reassuringly. You did well, Arvo. Don't worry. By the way, Miko, your playing is really nice. Do you play often? Not really. I used to, but that was back in Finland. Here, I don't have a piano I can practice on. I do have a synthesizer with a keyboard, but it's definitely not the same. Pianos have weighted keys with a completely different feel and playing dynamic. I can't imagine performing something other than a boxed food on a synth. Why that, if I may ask? Those were written for organs mostly, and still the dynamics are completely different. You don't need a piano's dynamic range and subtlety to play those. I understand. So you play electronic music too? He actually composes his own stuff, and he's quite good at it too. He played me some of his tracks earlier today. They were all good. Mito blushes at his words, putting his huge fluffy ears down. He never enjoyed being in the spotlight much. I just liked playing music, that's all. If you're so good at it, you should definitely use your talent though. Do you have a SoundLake account where I can listen to your tracks? I do have one, but I don't really upload anything there. At least not lately. Why? I mean, how else are you going to get known? I don't really care about that. As I said, I just like playing music. The fur on Mito's neck is all bristled, and he even bears his fangs when he speaks. Oh, this is not good. I rarely see Mito angry, but now it's clear that he's getting more and more annoyed. That's just wasting your talent. If there's something you can do well, you should find a way to monetize it. Or at the very least, share it with the world. Torolf, you just told me not to pressure Arvo into anything, and now you're trying to talk Mito into things he told you he doesn't want to do. Torolf looks at Rune, and then at Mito again, clearly taken aback. You're right. Sorry, although I won't change my mind about it. I'd be glad if you respected my approach to what I do, thank you. Oh, that was definitely the most hateful thank you I've heard in a long time. Well, the atmosphere in the room is completely ruined. I glance at Bjorn, who has been quiet for a while now, who's looked down at his paws, just playing with the cuffs of his hoodie, looking as if he wishes he was anywhere but here. Anyway, I really enjoyed listening to you play, Mito. I love the sound of the piano. I know it's a fairly common sentiment, but piano might be my favorite instrument. It has such a magical, romantic quality to it. I regret picking up guitar instead of the piano a bit. Just a tiny bit. Actually, I wonder how piano relates to the guitar, if knowing how to play one helps with the other. Mito, can you play the guitar too? Only what little I learned at primary school. It was so long ago that there's no point in even mentioning it. I remember maybe one song. That was an easy one by Neutral Minnow Hotel, their most popular one. They really just combined Neutral Milk Hotel and Minotaur Hotel into one thing. God damn it. Oh yeah, of course. You mean in the Asteria plane over the sea? That one exactly, yeah. It's a classic. I don't think I've ever heard of it. It's not the kind of music you look for, it's the music that finds you. Anyway, you won't be able to help me much then. I'm afraid not, unless you want me to teach you to play piano. Oh, absolutely. We need to find the time to meet up again here for a lesson. Would you mind playing some more, Miko? I don't remember the last time I heard someone play piano live, and you're so good at it. And listening to the live sound feels different than listening to recordings. I can't really say what it is exactly, but it just feels so much more alive and magical. I know a few more pieces. And we have time. As we sat together listening to Miko play, days slowly turned into night. Leaning on Bjorn, through the window I observed the last minutes of the evening sun, painting the sky red and orange. Soon after, the clouds started to give way to the clear, silky smooth sky, slowly fading to black. So many things happened today already. The afternoon is over, but the memories of it will stay with me forever. But did you know what won't stay with you forever? Your missing keys. Days end so fast here up north during winter. It's dark, but I don't feel tired at all. Quite the contrary, I'm full of energy and enthusiasm. Above me, the stars look like small pebbles scattered across the night sky. Here, far away from the city and its plume lights, they shine so much brighter. Even the subtle band of light that forms the Milky Way is visible. It's a very cliche thing to think, but it's mind-blowing to think how big they actually are. So big and so distant. Impressive, isn't it? Oh yeah, we're stargazing. We stayed at the common space for more than an hour. First listening to Mito's playing, then just talking together. At the end, we were joined by Lake and Jorgen, who treated everyone with chocolate they brought with them. It was almost time for the stargazing to begin, so we hurried outside, onto the terrace. Here we found a few other students already waiting, and several telescopes lined up at the edge of the terrace. The night sky here certainly is something. Next to the entrance stands Devin, together with a professor I am not familiar with. He's a burly badger, probably in his late 40s or 50s, rather friendly and approachable judging by his demeanor. Good evening, Professor! Good evening, Lake. And Jorgen, hello. It's good to see you. Evening, Professor. I hope you're well. I'm good, thank you. Devin glances at his watch, then looks at the notebook he holds in his other paw. Looks like everyone is here already. I think we can start. Let me introduce you to Professor Arne Fang, who will give you a crash course in astronomy and stargazing tonight. Woohoo! Astronomy, my favorite subject of all time! Thank you, Devin. Hello everyone, it's nice to meet you all. So, you're here because you signed up for stargazing as your activity for today. You probably expect to start with the telescopes, which you can see over there, but that's not what we're going to do. I understand that some of you might be more advanced in the topic, but we're going to start with the very basics today. We're lucky that the wind blew the clouds away, otherwise we wouldn't be able to see much and would have to postpone the activity. Stars are favorable to us today. He chuckles at his own pun before continuing. Devin, can you go until the lights off? Sure thing. Stargazing for someone not versed in it might seem uninteresting. It's just looking at the sky, isn't it? Well, in a way it is, but it becomes interesting when you know what you're looking for. The sky is truly a beautiful thing in itself, but knowing what you are looking at transforms the experience. We will start our course with the simplest exercise. Look at the sky and try to locate the Ursa Major constellation. That's easy, Bjorn is standing right there. Lake points at the bear and whispers to Jorgen, who, upon hearing that, hides his face in both his paws with a sigh. Thank you, Devin. So, now, can you find the Ursa Major by yourself? I looked up at the sky, but I have no idea what to look for. I've heard about that constellation, but at first glance it's hard to recognize anything even a bit Ursine looking. If you found it, please raise your paw. Glancing around, I see a few paws already in the air. I myself have no idea what to look for though. Okay, so now, how to find that constellation in the sky. When you look at Ursa Major, in its tail you will surely notice a familiar shape. You may know this group of stars as Klausvodnen, Charles Vaden, or the Plough. Plough? That's Big Dipper for you, Devin. Sorry. British English sometimes still confuses me. Oh, that makes it much easier. I think everyone at least once in their life found the Plough in the sky. Only, unlike in the city, the sky here is filled with a multitude of stars. How am I supposed to find anything amongst so many? Counterintuitively, you may find out that locating specific stars is harder to hear because of how many stars are visible. Focus on the bright ones and ignore all the small ones. I think I see it. Looking only for the brighter stars, I finally located the familiar shape and raised my paw. Now, why is this important at all? That constellation is the third biggest one in the night sky, and certainly one of the most well known. It is extremely useful in navigation in the northern hemisphere of our planet. Even Homer in the Odyssey mentions Ursa Major as the constellation that never disappears from the sky and instead bathes in the ocean's waves. If we draw a line going through them, the last two stars of the bowl point us straight to Polaris. Who can tell me why that is important? Polaris is the North Star. It's roughly above the North Pole, and so is the point around which the whole sky rotates. That's right. Thank you, Jorgen. What you might not know is that Polaris is actually a 3-star system, composed of a primary star with 2 smaller companions, but that's a story for a different lesson. If anyone here is interested in night sky photography, but doesn't have the money for expensive equipment, then you could take some nice photos knowing where Polaris is. With large exposures, you could get those beautiful star trails circling around the North Star. I like this guy already. It's a shame I don't have classes with him. Our physics professor is probably the grumpiest old man I've ever seen. He's really nice, but any joke about Uranus gets you thrown out of his class. Lake knows something about that. How, Lake? I always thought you were a polite boy that never gets into trouble. I don't know where you got that idea. I can attest that is completely untrue. So, it looks like everyone was able to locate the Ursa Major. That's great. For the next exercise, let's spice things up a little bit. This time you'll be using telescopes. You will take a closer look at Saturn through them. That is, if you manage to locate it. I will make it easy for you though, because these are supposed to be fun activities after all. You were instructed to download a sky map app to your phones before their arrival. I hope you all did that. Oh damn, if not, then do that quickly before we get to the next step. Devin, you can go too. Have some fun as well.
Oh, if I can, then sure thing.
Okay, so we don't quite have enough telescopes for all of you. So for the purpose of this exercise, you may form pairs or triples or whatever configurations you might fancy. I don't mind. So now, please, step up to the telescopes. I believe you can sort into bigger groups when needed yourself. Doing as Professor Arndt said, I walked up to a free telescope at the end of the terrace. Looking around, I see that all my friends are already either at their telescopes or paired up with someone else. Even Mito was walking towards one alongside Bjorn. Okay, does everyone in every group have their own telescope? Good, so now we can start. Named after the Roman god of time, Saturn is a good object for observation for beginners. It's relatively easy to locate and, I might say, fairly spectacular because of its rings. From my own observation, I can tell you that my students prefer to look at planets than stars. We have a bit of a closer relation with them after all. You can't help but start to imagine what it might look like from even closer. Who knows? Maybe one of you will find some alien structures on one of the planets someday. But for now, look for an object with a golden color, shining steadily, just a tad bigger than the other ones around it. First, you will need to locate it with your own eyes before finding it through a telescope. The mobile map you have on your phones will be very helpful. An object with a golden color, shining steadily, just a tad bigger than the other ones around it. Easy to say, hard to find. I started the sky map, hoping that will help. I have absolutely no idea how to use it. Maybe I should read a manual or something before the lesson. I looked around in desperation. Maybe I'd be better off joining someone else after all. Also, it's already the end of the day, and I still haven't asked anyone about sharing the room for tonight. Oh! I think it's finally the time to make that decision, and this might be the best moment for that. So who am I going to ask? Oh! I believe that is a perfect way to end off this video. Woo! So we got all that out of the way. Well, until I go to other routes, and then I'm just gonna go back to just read the bonus material at the beginning so I can get more development for the characters. But anyway, that was great. I did enjoy that. I can't believe we still haven't found our damn key. Why can't we just look for it? Why can't we just look for it? We'll do literally anything but just find that damn key. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know. I'm still holding on to my theory that Mito probably swiped it up from our pockets when we weren't looking. But I started over that jealousy comment that Aro made regarding Mito gently brushing his fingers against the piano. Because you can't just be jealous because Mito is good at the piano and you're not. And then again, the only reason he remembered that piano piece was because of Mito. Mito was the one who taught it to him. It was one of the first pieces. My theory that Mito was his first crush and he got rejected is growing ever so strong. I swear to God, if I clocked it, like I clocked the twist in the Curious Case of Route 19, no one can tell me shit. No one can tell me shit. Okay? Well, anyway, thank you all so much for clicking on this video. If you enjoyed this, you can give it a like and subscribe if you're really interested. I'll leave a link to the game in the description below if you want to go play it for yourself, only if you are 18 and up. I'll also leave links to my Twitter and Bluestar in the description if you want to go support me on those platforms. And as always, I'll be leaving a link to the visual novel me and my good friend Zither Red Panda made for the February Game Jam called When You're Mine. Please don't show your support to it, and if you do enjoy it, possibly consider giving it a rating and commenting on it on itchio. We love reading those, it really does make our day. And once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!